What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Ravens Media, bringing Ravens content every single day. If you want to see daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. Before I get into this video, you guys, if you want to not hear the intro and stuff like that, probably skip to, I would assume, 1:30 in will probably be when the actual conversation starts. I want to say a couple of things. First off, I believe Mock Draft Monday will return this Monday, so that should be a lot of fun. I'll obviously explain more about what that is on Monday. Second of all, if you guys have any content that you want myself and Joshua to do, we are going to get back into the off-season way that we record. So we're actually going to typically record multiple episodes at once, more on like a 45-minute podcast section. There'll still be about 10, 15-minute videos, but we'll be recording together. So if you have any questions and things like that you want to ask us, comment them down below. We will answer them in those, those videos and in those podcasts that we will upload, and we'll also still be doing the live streams on Wednesday nights. But just wanted to give those kind of quick updates that you guys kind of know what content you're going to be hearing from us. We want to talk about what you guys want to hear about. I know I love talking draft stuff. So Mock Draft Monday, I'm very excited for it. It was probably it was the first series that we ever did on the channel. Was Mock Draft Monday about 10 months ago. So shout out to all those that remember Mock Draft Monday. It is returning. We'll be back Monday. But all right, guys, let's get into the actual video, which is the Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson comparisons. All right. And I want to put to rest all of these comparisons. And I'm in no way, shape, or form in this video trying to slander Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson. I think they're both great players, and I want to make that very clear. However, I don't understand the need to compare these two players because I find them very different. Very different in terms of play style, very different in terms of situation, and very different in terms of success. All right. And so I just want to quickly say, I like both of these guys. I'm not trying to go out there and just like slander these guys by any means, but I'm trying to explain that they're very different. And you don't want to compare players that are that different to the level that people compare Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray. Okay. Now I understand making, who's better than who type of comparisons. You can do that with any quarterback, right? You can argue Rodgers versus Lamar. You can argue Kyler versus Lamar. Like that, those types of things I'm not overly mad at, right? Another example, you can argue, let's say Baker Mayfield versus Joe Burrow or whatever it is. Probably Joe Burrow, but those types of things. You can make those types of debates. That's not what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get at this idea that everyone compares them and everyone links the two together as if they're the same, not just level, but like basically the same player. But I think that shows how little people watch not only of Lamar Jackson, but also of Kyler Murray. Okay? Kyler Murray is okay, I don't want you guys to misconstrue what I'm saying, but Kyler Murray is much more of a pocket passer than Lamar Jackson is. Yet I'm not trying to say Lamar Jackson is not a pocket passer, but Lamar Jackson likes to really scramble around and do those types of things. Kyler Murray is like, stay in the pocket till the last second, and then he'll try and escape out and things like that. And I'm not trying to say one way's better than the other. I'm just saying they're a little bit different in how they approach the passing game. And I will say I think Kyler's a little bit better of a passer, but again, this isn't trying me to be a slandering video. This is just trying to be me trying to explain the differences in their game, and that people comparing them and lumping them in is kind of ridiculous. So just in the way that they play, Lamar Jackson runs very differently than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray runs straight line and slides. Nothing wrong with that. Lamar Jackson runs and is very elusive. Lamar Jackson's elusiveness has been compared to that of Gale Sayers, of Barry Sanders, some of the greatest runners in history. Like they're very different in the way they run the ball. In the way they throw the ball. Very different. Very different. All right. Like Lamar Jackson likes to give his players like a lot of chances and things like that in terms of like throwing it, even when they're maybe not like super open and things like that. But Lamar Jackson will like throw it to where like they'll jump up and get it. Whereas Kyler Murray a lot of times like throws them open. And obviously guys make both throws. Lamar's made great throws throwing players open. Kyler Murray's made great throws, throwing jump balls and things like that. Again, not trying to slander these players. I'm just saying that their tendencies are pretty different. And then the biggest thing that I want to point out is the situations these guys are in. All right. Kyler Murray's offense, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Christian Kirk, Rondale Moore, now Zach Ertz, James Conner, Chase Edmonds. Not a great offensive line, so they have that in common. Lamar Jackson's offense is Mark Andrews. So obviously Lamar's very much dependent on the tight end, much more than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray didn't even have Zach Ertz all year, and then Kyler was hurt when they had Zach Ertz initially. So there's a lot of like Max Williams and stuff like that. Again, Lamar's very tight end dependent. Kyler Murray's very wide receiver dependent because he has DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Green and Christian Kirk and Rondale Moore and Antoine Wesley. Lamar Jackson has Hollywood and Sammy and Rashad Bateman. And so even just the guys that they're throwing to, drastically different, right? The offensive systems. Kyler Murray's in the air raid type of system. Lamar Jackson's in the boring, lame Greg Roman system. So like these comparisons of stats are ridiculous. I don't understand it. When people use stats to try and compare how good players are and not recognizing that they're in completely different systems, that Kyler Murray is in a system designed to throw the ball and designed to have those types of things. Lamar Jackson's playing in a system designed to run the ball and get small gains and methodically move the ball down the field. Not saying one's better than the other. Cardinals is better than the Ravens, but overall, those are very different. So when people are saying like, oh yeah, like they're just better than, the Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson tier, they're like so different. And then also, let's not even factor in the amount of success that they've had. And I don't want to slander Kyler Murray for his playoff loss. Again, we've watched Lamar Jackson lose in the playoffs. I guess you could say that that's a similar trait between the two, is that both of their teams kind of fell apart in their first playoff game. But like, come on. We all know that wasn't Lamar Jackson's fault when they lost to not just the Chargers, but also the Tennessee Titans. That wasn't Lamar's fault. I'm not saying he played great, but the Cardinals losing to the Rams, it wasn't just Kyler Murray's fault. The whole team fell apart. The offensive line was doing nothing. The defense was getting destroyed, right? They didn't have DeAndre Hopkins. So like just saying that like, oh yeah, he's just like Lamar, can't win in the playoffs. And it's like, guys, one, they're completely different. Two, the Lamar can't play in the playoffs is also wrong. It's just, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of make this video because I'm just tired of hearing all of these comparisons. Let me know if you guys are also tired of them. And I'm going to say it right now. I don't think it's overly controversial. I think Lamar Jackson is better than Kyler Murray. I would rather have Lamar Jackson than Kyler Murray. However, I just see so often whenever people bring up Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson is talked about. Whenever people bring up Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray gets talked about. And, I think it was Ryan Clark came out and said, like, if you put Kyler Murray on the Ravens, like they're easily contending for the AFC Championship game, probably going to the Super Bowl. And it's like, why does it have to be Kyler Murray? They don't play the same way. They're pretty different. Like, yeah, sure, they can both run the ball, but there's a lot of quarterbacks that can run. Josh Allen can run. Why isn't Josh Allen? And obviously, there's a particular reason as to why they get grouped together so much, but I'm saying that should stop. Stop grouping them together because both of them are young black quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous that people just lump these guys into the same conversation just because of that one aspect. I think it's absolutely crazy. But let me know what you guys think about the whole situation, the Kyler versus Lamar. And also, if you want, comment who you think's better. If you guys want, you don't have to whatsoever. But I'm just kind of curious to see what people think because I do like both of the players. I think they're both very, very talented players, but they're very different. Even though they're both very talented, they're very different. So stop comparing their play styles and things like that because it's just not the same. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content, and I'll see all of you again tomorrow.